Hello everyone, Daria here, and welcome to episode 34 of the Slow Russian Language Podcast. I know it's a little bit late, but today we're going to talk about Halloween in Russia. I'm sorry I didn't do it last week, but the thing is, I just so don't care about Halloween that I completely forgot about it. And my listeners reminded me that they're interested about how we celebrate Halloween in Russia. And I couldn't refuse, so today we're talking about it. As usual, first comes the text in slow Russian, and if you don't understand it, don't worry. After that, I will translate it sentence by sentence and explain some interesting vocabulary. Многих иностранцев волнует вопрос о том, празднуют ли в России Хэллоуин. И да, и нет. Дело в том, что на официальном уровне этот праздник воспринимается скорее как нечто чуждое русской культуре. Ежегодно тысячи православных верующих устраивают протесты против этого западного веяния и призывают россиян вернуться к своим традициям. Однако для молодого поколения это просто еще один повод весело провести время с друзьями. Молодые люди, особенно студенты, наряжаются в костюмы нечисти и отрываются в ночных клубах. В школах Хэллоуин отмечают на уроках английского языка, чтобы познакомить детей с культурой других стран. Но нельзя сказать, что в России это праздник в прямом смысле слова. Почти никто не украшает дома, по телевизору не показывают в эти дни ужасы, дети не ходят по соседским квартирам за конфетами. And that was it for the text. Now let's try to translate it. The first sentence. Многих иностранцев волнует вопрос о том, празднуют ли в России Хэллоуин. Many foreigners wonder if Halloween is celebrated in Russia. Here we see an interesting verb. Волнует. Иностранцев волнует вопрос. So the infinitive is волновать or волноваться. And this verb has several meanings. The first one is to worry, волноваться. Imagine the situation when it's already midnight and your husband is still not home. So you can say, it's midnight, I'm worrying. Уже полночь, я волнуюсь. So here it's literal meaning. Волноваться, to be worried, to worry. Я волнуюсь. And if you continue this very same situation and you say, so it's midnight, I'm worrying, and I wonder when he comes. In Russian, you can use this verb again. Меня волнует, когда он придет. I wonder when he comes. So, я волнуюсь, и меня волнует, когда он придет. I'm worrying and I wonder when he comes. So here, back to Halloween. This sentence means that foreigners wonder, they are interested in this question, if Russians celebrate Halloween. Иностранцев волнует этот вопрос. So it means that they're just interested. It doesn't mean that they worry about it. Okay, the next sentence, a very short one. И да, и нет. Yes and no. But pay attention that in English you don't say and yes and no, and in Russian you do. И да, и нет. So it's kind of both yes and no. И да, и нет. And the next sentence. Дело в том, что на официальном уровне этот праздник воспринимается скорее как нечто чуждое русской культуре. The thing is that officially this holiday is perceived more as something alien to Russian culture. This sentence I started with «дело в том», and you can translate it as the thing is, or as a matter of fact. So in Russian it's «дело в том», and then you explain what the matter is. Another interesting expression here is «на официальном уровне». Literally it means at the official level. But of course more natural is officially, официально. And what does it mean? Imagine that there are several levels. For example, among ordinary people like you and me talking in everyday life. If we want to celebrate Halloween, why not? We can do it. We can dress and we can go to the party. We can decorate our house. But officially, on the level of government, on the level of the whole country, this day is not perceived as a holiday. So kind of no one cares. So this официальный уровень usually means government. For example, if some problem was discussed in the government, you would say «на официальном уровне обсудили проблему» or «на официальном уровне поговорили о чем-то». Okay, moving on. In this sentence, we also have an interesting word, скорее. I'm sure you already know one of its meanings and means sooner. Скорее. Скоро means soon and скорее means sooner. Or maybe when you want someone to hurry up, to do something quicker, faster. For example, hurry up and call her, maybe before she leaves or something. Скорее позвони ей. Hurry up and call her. Скорее. And here it doesn't mean that. In this sentence, этот праздник, this holiday, воспринимается скорее как нечто чуждое русской культуре. So this holiday is perceived more as something alien to Russian culture. And this more here is скорее. So it's not perceived as a holiday, it's perceived as something alien, something strange to Russian culture. Another example with this скорее in this meaning. Это скорее хобби, а не работа. It's more of a hobby than work. For example, me and this podcast. Teaching the Russian language in a language school is my job, my work, but here, talking to you, it's just my hobby. So here I can say, это скорее хобби, а не работа. It's more of a hobby than work. Okay, now we're moving to the next sentence. Ежегодно тысячи православных верующих устраивают протесты против этого западного веяния и призывают россиян вернуться к своим традициям. Every year, thousands of Orthodox believers protest against this Western trend and invoke Russians to come back to their traditions. The first word here is ежегодно, and it's just the synonym of каждый год, every year. Ежегодно, каждый год. Православные верующие устраивают протесты, means that they protest. You can also say они протестуют. Протестовать means to protest. And those guys, those Orthodox believers, I don't want to offend someone or anything, but really sometimes it seems that they just love to protest. It seems that they don't have anything else in their lives to do. They just want to forbid everything and judge everyone around them. So every year they protest against St. Valentine's Day, against Halloween, against foreign movies, exhibitions, and everything. Those guys just love to protest. So here, they say that Halloween is that Western trend. Западное веяние. This word веяние is pretty interesting. Actually, the verb веять means to blow, to breathe, usually about the wind. Веет ветерок. About some warm, nice breeze. So it kind of an image of some wind coming from the west, bringing all those Halloweens, St. Valentine's and everything. Западное веяние. And here it means more of a trend, like Western trend. Западное веяние. It's kind of a synonym of the Western fashion. Западная мода. Веяние моды. Something like that. So those guys are against it and they invoke all Russians to come back to their own traditions. In the next sentence. Однако для молодого поколения это просто еще один повод весело провести время с друзьями. But for the young generation, it's just another occasion to have a good time with their friends. And why not? Really, why not? And the next sentence. Молодые люди, особенно студенты, наряжаются в костюмы нечисти и отрываются в ночных клубах. Young people, especially students, wear evil spirits' costumes and party at nightclubs. Interesting verb here is отрываться. Студенты отрываются. It's a slang word here, and literally отрывать means to tear something off. For example, you buy some new t-shirt and you tear off the label. Оторвать этикетку с новой футболки. To tear off the label from the new shirt. Or to tear off some piece of paper. Оторвать бумажку. But as a slang, we use it about having a good time, about partying. I guess the analogy in English is to have a blast. So it means to have a really, really good time, especially speaking about large parties, about nightclubs, about dancing. So in Russian, it's отрываться. For example, we had a blast yesterday. Мы вчера оторвались. Or like, we were partying all night long. Мы отрывались всю ночь. Also a very common phrase is отрываться по полной программе. Literally means the full program. Полная программа. And I don't even know why it comes like that, but maybe it's like some program people have for a really hard partying. Imagine like a couple of girlfriends going together to have some fun and like first level they sit somewhere in the corner giggling, having a couple of shots. The next level they say how much they love each other and laughing really loudly. The next stage they become desperate and cry and complain about their ex-boyfriends. And the next level is getting even more drunk and calling or texting those ex-boyfriends. And then so on, and maybe vomiting in the toilet and falling down unconscious. I don't know. So it's just the full program. Полная программа. And the full phrase is отрываться по полной программе. Okay, the next sentence. В школах Хэллоуин отмечают на уроках английского языка, чтобы познакомить детей с культурой других стран. In schools, Halloween is celebrated in the English language lessons to introduce other countries' culture to children. And really, in English classes, I remember every year we celebrated Halloween. We had to bring some costumes and to bake something like, those finger cookies. And we were just talking in English about Halloween, and that was pretty much it for a celebration. And the last part of this text. Но нельзя сказать, что в России это праздник в прямом смысле слова. But I can't say that in Russia Halloween is a true holiday. Interesting expression here is нельзя сказать. Нельзя, usually it means that something is forbidden, something is off limits. Нельзя. But here, of course, it doesn't mean that. Нельзя сказать. Of course, it's not forbidden to say anything. I guess the best way to translate it is, I can't say that, and blah, 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 blah. So, if you want to say that something is not something, like here, Halloween is not a holiday. So, it's I can't say that Halloween is a holiday in Russia. Нельзя сказать, что Хэллоуин – это праздник. Another interesting expression is в прямом смысле слова. Literally, it means in the literal meaning of this word. It means that you bring up everything that is associated with something. For example, like here, праздник. What does holiday, праздник, mean? It means some bright event when everything is decorated and everyone is celebrating. That is a holiday in its literal meaning. Праздник в прямом смысле. And Halloween is not that big of a holiday in Russia. So it is kind of a holiday, but not that typical, stereotypical holiday. Праздник в прямом смысле слова. And the next sentence kind of explains why it's not the holiday in its literal meaning. Почти никто не украшает дома, по телевизору не показывают в эти дни ужасы, дети не ходят по соседским квартирам за конфетами. Almost no one decorates homes, they don't show horror movies on TV, and children don't go for candies to their neighbors' apartments. And it's true, almost no one does that. The only thing people do, they dress up and go to nightclubs and post hundreds of pictures on Instagram. And that's it about Halloween in Russia. And now I'm going to read this text one more time, and this time in full speed, so you can compare if you understand it or not. Многих иностранцев волнует вопрос о том, празднуют ли в России Хэллоуин. И да, и нет. Дело в том, что на официальном уровне этот праздник воспринимается скорее как нечто чуждое русской культуре. Ежегодно тысячи православных верующих устраивают протесты против этого западного веяния и призывают россиян вернуться к своим традициям. Однако для молодого поколения это просто еще один повод весело провести время с друзьями. Молодые люди, особенно студенты, наряжаются в костюмы нечисти и отрываются в ночных клубах. В школах Хэллоуин отмечают на уроках английского языка, чтобы познакомить детей с культурой других стран. Но нельзя сказать, что в России это праздник в прямом смысле слова. Почти никто не украшает дома, по телевизору не показывают в эти дни ужасы, дети не ходят по соседским квартирам за конфетами. And that was it for the text. If you have any questions or maybe suggestions for the future episodes, feel free to send an email. realrussianclub@gmail.com or slowrussian@gmail.com. I'll be very happy to talk to you. And don't forget to check out the show notes today, because from now on, I'm going to upload the full text there in the show notes. I have no idea why I didn't do it earlier. It's so much easier for everyone. So check it out right there. And I guess that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you in the next episode of the Slow Russian Language Podcast. Bye-bye.